Apple's iPhone 16 Pro is going to be better than you think. And in this video, I'm going to share the top 10 upgrades that we should expect based on recent leaks and rumors, including some changes that only the trained eye will detect, which are clearly visible within these new exclusive renders that we had created for us. And if you can't see anything different, don't worry, I'm going to explain them all in this video, as well as why they're going to be so important. Starting off with the first upgrade, we just got a brand new leak from Ming-Chi Kuo that has confirmed that the iPhone 16 Pro models will be getting a massive ultra-wide camera upgrade to receive a new 48 megapixel camera sensor. That might sound like overkill, but I'd argue that the ultra-wide camera is where you want the most amount of pixels possible because the camera can basically see twice as much as the main camera can. The 48 megapixel camera will also help a ton for dim and low light situations because it'll use a technology called pixel binning, where it can act as a 12 megapixel camera, essentially merging the data from 4 pixels into 1 in order to take in more light, leading to better looking photos with less noise. Now, the second upgrade is one of the differences you can see within our new renders, specifically a brand new button on the bottom right side of the Pro model iPhones. I know it sounds crazy and it doesn't make any sense, but it's apparently going to be called the capture button, and the main reason for the weird placement is that it's actually meant to be used when holding your phone in landscape mode, which now strategically places that button in the perfect spot for recording videos or taking photos. According to recent leaks from Mark Gurman, it could literally be a dedicated spatial video recording button, which makes sense because right now on the iPhone 15 Pro models, you can actually record spatial video, but it only works in landscape mode because that's how the Vision Pro headset will be viewing the videos. Moving on to number 3, which is perhaps the biggest noticeable change that we'll get, both the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max will get larger displays. The 16 Pro will be bumping up from 6.1 inches to 6.3, and the 16 Pro Max will be going from 6.7 to 6.9 inches. The main reason for this is to allow more internal space for new component upgrades like the new 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera sensor, as well as larger batteries, including one big feature update on the 16 Pro, which I'll get into in just a second. The actual dimensions of each model have leaked, and it looks like the width is barely going to increase by only 0.85 millimeters on the 16 Pro and 0.88 millimeters on the 16 Pro Max. So it'll still be generally as comfortable to hold in your hand as the current ones, while making the display taller, which means you can fit more tweets or posts on the screen. But speaking of that new feature that is coming thanks to the size increase, we have upgrade number 4. Some say the entire reason for Apple to increase the size in the first place is because they had trouble fitting the new 5x Tetra Prism telephoto camera into the 15 Pro, which is likely why it came exclusively for the Pro Max model. And let me tell you, this new 5x camera is my favorite new feature on the 15 Pro Max, giving you an entirely new perspective that you can't get anywhere else thanks to the excellent lens quality and stabilization. Well, that camera is now coming to the smaller 16 Pro, and only because of the extra internal space that will help it fit in. Now, moving on to number 5, it's another change that you can see with a trained eye by looking at our new exclusive renders, and that's actually the action button. Apple did a great job, in my opinion, with this new action button because the placement makes it hard to press accidentally, and the software support is absolutely incredible because there are no limits to what you can do since it supports custom shortcuts that can do basically anything. Well, with the 16 Pro, Apple is actually going to make the button larger to help make it easier to press and fill in the extra space that we're going to get with the taller phone size. It's also likely that Apple wants to differentiate it from the regular iPhone 16 models, which will also finally be getting the action button this year. Now, for upgrade number 6, we of course have the new A18 Pro chip, which will come on the iPhone 16 Pro models, with the regular A18 coming on the regular models, which is great news because the regular iPhones have been getting the previous year's chips, but not anymore. This will be a big deal because I ran a bunch of calculations based on the info and leaks that we have now, and the regular A18 chip should outperform the A17 Pro in both single-core performance and multi-core, which is great news. And as for the A18 Pro, it's gonna be even faster because I personally think it's gonna come with an extra 2 CPU cores, allowing it to finally outperform the M1 chip in multi-core, which is just crazy. And finally, we have metal graphics performance, where the A18 Pro should perform almost as good as the M1, which is honestly really impressive. Moving on to upgrade number 7, we have the battery, which will apparently get a full redesign on the iPhone 16 Pro. Kazutami on X actually revealed a prototype battery that looks completely legit, featuring a new glossy metal shell, which is exactly what Apple switched to in the Apple Watch Series 7, which improved thermals and actually increased capacity by 10% due to the new tech. So this is what we're going to be getting in the new iPhone 16 lineup, which means that we should get a noticeable battery life improvement, especially thanks to multiple other upgrades like the more efficient A18 Pro chip. For upgrade number 8, the iPhone 16 Pro will be getting the latest Wi-Fi 7 spec, which is in my opinion a much bigger deal than the Wi-Fi 6E that we got in the 15 Pro, mainly because Wi-Fi 7 is the first version that allows you to connect multiple bands at the same time for a faster and more reliable connection. So let's say your router gives off a 2.4 GHz and a 6 GHz band, the iPhone 16 Pro would connect to both of them at the same time, which means you get a perfect transition as you move around your house and even into your backyard. Upgrade number 9 is a very similar upgrade, but I'd say that it's even more important. According to leaks and rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro will come packing Qualcomm's new Snapdragon X75 modem, which is going to be faster and more efficient, leading to better overall battery life since it uses 20% less power, and it actually takes up 25% less circuit board space, which will give Apple more internal space for other things. It's also got 5G Advanced, which is the next step up and transition before 6G comes down the road. And finally, we have upgrade number 10, which apparently has to do with Siri. According to Meishikuo, the iPhone 16 Pro will come with a significantly upgraded microphone with a better signal-to-noise ratio and improved water resistance. The main reason for this is because iOS 18 will apparently come with new generative AI features exclusively for the iPhone 16 Pro models, so the upgraded microphones will be an important upgrade. So there you guys go. Those were the top 10 upgrades coming to the new iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max models. So hopefully you enjoyed our brand new animated renders, and if you did, subscribe above for more videos like this one and check out one of those two right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.